Oh, what? Oh, no. Hey. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Unreal Engine 5 game development live stream. We're back in our Deck Knight project, a game built from scratch using C++ blueprints, the game playability system plugin, and all of that good stuff. So today we're going to be focusing more on paper design of our game's parry mechanics. So we're just going to kind of brainstorm some ideas, kind of see what we think might work, what might not work, and then kind of move forward with the prototype. Because with the prototype we have, some assets to work with. We have like a block and we have a parry and everything, but we need to make sure we align on like what the mechanics will be and how it will kind of look and play, and some of the basic ideas around that. So the original kind of thought process, I was thinking maybe there should be something like posture, but I don't think I really want posture in my game. I think that kind of actively goes against how I feel about the type of game I want to make. I want it to be a little more faster paced, and I feel like if there's posture, and it kind of limits everything, and I'd rather have it so that if you block, it doesn't block all of the damage, it mitigates some of it, and then you can have some RPG layers on top of that that lets you mitigate less and less damage. And we'll just kind of have to see if that will work, because I don't know if I want to introduce like a posture broken state or anything like that. Like, I know there's going to be some repercussions, some certain decisions and things like that, so I'm going to have to really think about it. But that's the initial direction that I want to go in. So let's go ahead and just create a section here called Parry. Just going to be like sticky notes and maybe some drawings and stuff like that, just to kind of get the juices flowing. So I'll say block and parry mechanics. I probably have like smaller sections for each, or kind of split it in half. Like block, and parry. So what does block do? On the surface, I want block to mitigate damage. Is this a viz board that you use to design layout, or your blueprints just different looking? No, this is not blueprints. No, this is just this is called Figma, and it's just a viz board where I just do my notes for general brainstorming, and then we go into implementation, then to our documentation brief after we've kind of outlined our mechanics. So mitigates X percentage of incoming damage. And for parry, we want to say mitigates 100% of incoming damage when successful. And we want to say, maybe I could just do notes kind of like this. Oh god. It mitigates damage, and what else does block do? Slower locomotion state. Because my assumption is, with block and parry mechanics, I also have to think about damage types as well. Because I don't want block to mitigate at all status effect damage and possibly like AoE damages and stuff like that. So I have to think about damage types. Maybe, yeah, like there's damage types. So you would say, you know, status effect and physical and maybe magic or something like that. But I guess there has to be a different layer to that where it needs to, you know, so can some magic damage be blocked? So we would have to kind of figure that out. So damage types and descriptors. So unblockable damage. Possibly unparryable damage. Things like true damage. Connect this. And then Because I have to think about iframes for like the dodge and evasive maneuvers. So unavoidable. And there would be descriptors in each of these kind of damages that lets us know if it could be blocked or not. And we'll have to basically say, we'll have to go to, I don't mind going the gamey route where you have to say, like, you know, different attacks have different colors that kind of tell you which one you kind of to avoid and which ones to try to block and which ones to try to parry. So parry, what do I want parry to do, right? I want parry to mitigate. I want parry to interrupt the enemy attack. I don't know if I want a form of perfect parry or if all parries are perfect. I want it to be pretty simple just because of the animation and budgets that we have for our enemies. I think it's just better to kind of do a full kind of interrupt, and the parry will be, excuse me, not super generous, the window, but something that's good enough, you know? So interrupts the enemy attack. Parry, attack, follow-ups. And I want parries to be a gateway. A gateway for card mechanics. And what that really means is I want there to be cards that can hook into this event. Effects. I want to avoid parry spam. Likely need to give it, not like, I guess not an explicit cooldown, but and of course references are going to be, you know, player obscure. Three. I don't think they have an explicit kind of cooldown where, so if you miss the window, you have like a certain amount of time before you can do anything else, right? So there has to be a pretty big risk in this. Bigger risk than most games. Parry attack follow-up. The parry attack follow-up will most likely be progression hooks. Still need to think about, you know, the basic combo and charge attack that I have. I gotta see if they can like hook into anything, because you know we have this charge thing. Like, can parrying an enemy do something by default? Excuse me. For this, not sure. See, I need to take away the shield thing. It's not going to really be a shield anymore, so we're going to have to do some cleanup there. So parry attack follow up. I also want parries to reward with card energy resource. Wanted to reward with style meter. If we end up doing a style meter of some sort. Because maybe we'll say, you know, reward with style meter, and that will just get you more card resources as like a byproduct of that. So blocking should mitigate. Minimal hit reaction. Blocking and unblockable attack will result in damage and normal hit reaction. I'm wondering if this at all is too punishing. I'm not sure. I'll have to play test it a bit. I want you to be able to parry and parry projectiles. That would be cool. Hey Talos, how's it going? Thanks for popping in. Maybe there could be a reason and hooks into blocking. Maybe blocking can also be absorb, I think. Damage and store it. That would be pretty interesting. So give you a reason to actually try to block too. So when you mitigate that damage, you get the thing, and then if you progress to mitigate less, more and more damage, you can get that stuff more for free. But I don't know if that means, because then that will definitely mean we need to have a good mix of unblockable attacks and things like that. So I think that's just the price that we pay for that. And obviously we want to look at games like Ghost of Yotei and Tsushima, just about visuals. So Ghost of Tsushima, visuals of Parry. Have big VFX and time dilation, stuff like that. Now for like the technical aspects, typically like a window, a scalable window of Parry, right? It's a scalable window for Parry. And we'll say the default Parry window is, because I think some videos I saw for games like Lives of P, it was 0.15 seconds, and I think Sekiro was 0.2. So honestly, I don't want to make it too difficult by default, but I also don't want to make it too easy by default, because you might be able to progress in that. You can use a card. It says, Parry, your parry window is now a second or something, or parry cooldown is reduced, stuff like that. So we'll go with 0.2 seconds. And we want the parry window detected on hit. And we'll need to, for this prototype, we need to get some sort of character in game that just swings a sword. I think your YouTube channel has the old Twitch channel link. Maybe. I can update it real quick. Oh. Thanks for letting me know. Looks like it, you're right. Channel. If only I can learn. Where to update that? Got a notification. Congratulations, your channel's 13 today. God damn. I've had this YouTube channel for 13 years. That's rough. Makes you feel old. Is that me? I don't waste too much time on this. Might live with it for the time being. It's not right. Thanks for letting me know. I'll fix that later. Okay, so where? Oh, didn't mean to open that up either. So we need a, for example, for this prototype, an enemy that can attack, right? So we might need to just get something off of Fab. Play with, something. Let's see if they have anything in our intended style. And we'll try something out. If not, we can just get, the mannequin Manny to. Okay, so Fab is also not opening. Is something going on in the world that's causing these things not to open? Okay. We'll say stylized enemy combat. Let's see what we got. Oh. Maybe we could get this chunky too. What do you guys think? So it's a model. LEDs. It has number of animations. It has, attack. Good work. The showcase. Yeah, maybe. Wish it had more. And it's by the same guy. That's a Greg. Characters and creatures. So there is more stylized characters. Cool, but I want to look for some enemies. Now let me just type in enemy now. Blah, blah, blah. Poly, blah, blah, blah. So Goblin Warrior. Like, I definitely like the idea of the enemy orc, but it's just like it's missing like run animations and stuff. Like, but maybe I can like implement some other stuff for it. Because yeah, it just has idle, walk, death, attack, and aggro. Paralyzed forest enemy, no. Enemy characters asset pack. Hey, Parrific, how you doing? Trying to find something that fits in the relative style, if possible. If not, yeah, we don't have to really waste our money on something that we won't want to use. We can always just use mannequin. Shoe monster, cool. Have you looked at vertex painting and collision detection? I haven't really looked at vertex painting, and you know, I guess it depends on what you mean by collision detection. Somewhat. Collision detection using vertex painting. No, I have not. That looks kind of cool. Yeah, idle, walk, death spell, attack right, attack left, entrance hit. This looks pretty cool. Look on Fab. Okay, let me just save this. Collision, protection, okay. I'm assuming it's this first one. Paint at location on skeleton meshes with area effect fall off. This can be affected as well. Paint at locations on static meshes. Area effect fall off. Paint at location. Okay. For runtime paint and detection to create new game modes and gameplay. Paint with an area using several types of shapes. Fall off types. Oh, whoops. What? Didn't mean to go to the Discord. Go to the trailer and see. That looks cool. Data closeness affects all the vertex colors. I guess that's what I could use for, yeah, like footsteps and all that stuff. I already have something working for that, I guess, technically. But yeah, I guess that could be good to, yeah, do the footprints and all that stuff. I guess that's just one example. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. Just crying in the shower. That looks cool. But for now, don't have much interest in it. But cool stuff. Let me go back to my wish list. Let me go here. I think I'm gonna buy this guy. Why not? And we will use him. Well, for me, if not on sale, no purchase. I didn't really look at the price. Was it expensive? Let's buy this bad boy. We'll add them to our project, and we can just add them onto our scene. You know, the next confirmed sale is the end of this month. Sometimes I don't pay close enough attention to the sales. but I'm in a very good place. There was a problem pressing my press. Why? Place order, please. Are you referring to the person that I'm buying this from, or are you referring to the collision vertex thing? Oh, you have all those monsters? Nice. That's cool. I'll just get it now. It's not a big deal. If it'll let me buy it. If not, if it doesn't work, then I'll wait till they're on sale. But unless I'm like using the wrong card or something. I can't remember now. Fab works slow now? Oh, okay. Seems like it's doing something this time. Okay. So we're good. Add to project. Sure. Project. Yeah, sorry, Perfect. I don't really have time to really look at marketplace assets at the moment. I kind of want to focus on our goal for today, which is designing and working on our parry mechanics. We'll save it for next time, though. Full rig. Add the character. Looks cool. Let's see. I just want to throw him in real quick. Seems okay. Yeah. Is there no animation blueprint? I guess not, but that's fine. We'll just have to do it ourselves, I guess. Could be animation idle. And I guess one of the good things about this is we can just kind of have him move while he's idling. We don't really have to have walk animations. That's pretty clutch. So yeah, we'll need to a new enemy, I think. Game. Character, NPC. Like, so now we got NPC base. Go. I could share a tutorial, not a step-by-step kind of tutorial for Parry system similar to Sekiro in Discord. Yeah, feel free to share it. It's not my first rodeo when it comes to making a parry system. I should copy stuff over. Guess I could just move stuff. Let me do this. Delete. Move. Clean everything and move it over. Flying ash should not be renamed. I don't think anything was moved. Okay. So I need to be connected to version control. So let's do that real quick. Okay. So atom emergence. It comes up like that. I guess that's what we have to do when he spawns, kind of thing. So let's quickly make this guy. So mesh. That. It's 90. So thank you for sharing. So Unreal Engine 5, Secure Block, and Parry tutorial. Very good stuff. Yeah, seems straightforward. Obviously, we don't need this. I think it's called posture as well in Sekiro. But yeah, definitely useful information. Thank you for sharing. Let's see how much we can achieve by winging it. Knowing what we know shouldn't be too bad. Seems decent. It would be good to know, I guess, in the context of gas, how to set it up, but again, we'll wing it. So let's. Oh, I deleted the floor. Let's delete you. Put you in now. Now we need to make animation blueprint. So grab skeleton. Create animation blueprint. AVP underscore NPC like base. Probably have to do some, I guess, better setup for multiple NPCs and stuff, but put you here. Sake of this, we should now be able to just put you here. selected here. And be able to grab his idol. So there is technically a walk, which is good. We have an idol, and we're gonna have to do default slot, and that should be enough to be able to play animations on him, and will hopefully be enough. Let's see, let's look at his hit. Yeah, nothing too crazy. And then his death. Fine. And his attack left. Good. Makes sense. Let's add him call. We're gonna have to find some good, like, and strong hit reaction, I think, at some point. But one thing at a time. So we should be able to go into Lich Base, and we could say even on begin play, we can play animation, or play montage. And now we'll have to create some montages, right? Under animations, montages. And let's make montages out of these three. So, emergence, left and right attack. So, create and a montage in. So we should be able to just do straight up emergence. So when we start, in theory, it's him, right? Yep. Cool. Obviously, yeah, he has the same state tree and everything. So he's going to be turning and shooting shit at me. But let's disable that for now. Let me get the controller. For now, let's not give him a controller. We'll have to see about his motion warping. Why that's not working. I think it might be just specific targeting component, maybe. We'll have to see. I am using motion warping, yeah. Just not working against this one guy for some reason. Let's double check on our dummy. Here's our dummy. So it seems okay against him. Let's look real quick at our motion. Warping. Debug. Slow down time. Seems fine there. Well, you know, this wave manager is eventually going to be something that I can spawn a bunch of waves of enemies and, you know, have them actually work. So it would construct like randomized waves with certain weights and groupings and stuff like that. But right now, all it does now is what's the word? Just spawns an enemy. So that's our issue right now. Our warp target is way past the enemy. So let's just confirm what is needed. Let's go to melee base. And what are we doing in melee base? Well, we're constructing our warp target. So let's see if we get to that. Maybe it's not being recognized. it's not. Okay. And why is that? Find out. So it's under find target, right? All right, so find target. This, why is it DT projectile preset? That's wrong. Melee, is there targeting? Melee targeting. I don't know what the fuck happened. So that's one thing. Let's see. So filter. Am I just filtering by? That's on screen. Hold on. There should be a filter class. NPC base. Okay. Well, that should all work. Still, for some reason, it's not being picked up. I think it's because of the collision. Gotta make sure he has character mesh. Does and this. Oh, okay. So there's targeting. Not really being picked up. Stat targeting system. I don't know if that's going to do anything. Now there's stat stuff. Okay. What's wrong? We are NPC base. Targeting. My assumption is that it's just not returning anything valid, right? But why? God, I made this targeting system too long ago. I don't remember what debugs I have. Gameplay, targeting. Still doesn't get picked up. What's wrong? I have this. Filter, gas target filter on screen. Oh. Now all my breakpoints are hitting. What's wrong here? So it's being picked up. This one is not. So what is the difference here? because this thing doesn't actually have a collision asset. It's just a character mesh. We have a physical asset. All seems fine. So it needs to be mesh. I guess that should be a default setting if that's going to be the case. Yeah, okay. So, cool. Yeah, I should probably fix that because, you know, that's one less thing to worry about at some point. Well, what's wrong now? Because he's not really idling. Because we're not looping. So, what's that? Yeah. So now he should just kind of come up and then just start idling. Yeah, there you go. So now he's vibing. Now see, we have some weird particles and weird sounds and stuff that we're gonna have to figure out later, because right now it's just always wood. Maybe the offset should be more. $50. That seems fine. Obviously, we're gonna have to do like hit reactions and all that stuff eventually, but right now we just need something that we could potentially parry. So we need to, at this point, I want to, on completed, let's make a custom event. This is all gonna be hard-coded stuff for now. To just let him do an attack, like one, two, you know, just basic swipes back and forth. So start melee attacks. So on blend out, we can just start melee attacks. This, and we can do probably do like a random, right? Let's put in both melee attacks. Left and right. And so on blend out, we can do, you know, delay with like 1 second or something, and start attacks again. So basic. That should get our point across, so let's just confirm. We are seeing what we're expecting. He should just come out, start attacking. One. Bam. Great. Works as we'd expect. So what we need to do now is add some traces. Hopefully we receive the data back. And this is also going to be a new test to make sure that we can actually draw melee traces on enemies. So let's add notify state attack, or is it melee? Something like that is fine. Now, let's make a new thing here. We'll make a new table, call it NPC, and then duplicate this. DT C for life. Says. We'll do 5 underscore melee left, right, and now we should be able to say character mesh on both of them. Now we should be able to look at the skeleton. We have an arm, a neck, head, scapula, shoulder, wrist. I guess it could be in the wrist. I'd also add my own sockets. Maybe we could do that. Yo, what's up, Insane Doggo? How you doing? Let's make a socket and we'll call this melee trace and left. Need to just put it here. So let's copy that name, put that here, put that there. Now let's reference this bad boy. Here. And there's our traces, right? So wham, does the attack. Great. So now let's do the other one. Go under wrist and R. We can add bone name, but let's just do that. I have to give a very similar relative location. Hopefully this will work fine. No. Something like that should be fine. So let's copy you. Put you in here. I think that's the same. Yeah. Cool. Now let's go and duplicate this. Grab that animation. You paste it. Probably won't be the right place, so you go. More-ish. Longer. That, and let's just update that. Now it should be on the right hand, so bam. Great. So now, in theory, I should be getting picked. So let me do collision shapes. Good. So getting detected. Now we should be able to create more or less our blocking on the player. So we already have some stuff there. There's some things I want to remove from the player though. Elf, because there is this shield that we no longer really need. So let's take out the shield, and we don't need this blocking stuff. So let's just that. And so when we block, he's technically kind of just bam, bam, bam. So we have a blocking. But we need to kind of keep that pose. You know what I mean? We need some animation, obviously, but let's go to blocking. Directory here. So GA stands block. So we'll need better blocking animation, which I believe we have in this demo map. We're also going to have to set up locomotion and all that good stuff. We have walking and block and stuff. There's idle, turn, plays turn, block. Go walk. Combat. Should be like, because there's parries and stuff like that. There's something called Parry. Block. Let's go find some of the motion animation here. So it should be eventually block start. That's the walk. Want to. So there's block, start. Block. And for block start, we have 0.42. So you have from here until 0.25. So here, like, you basically have 0.25 seconds, essentially. So you could go like, bam, and then that's it, right? And then block it. I gotta figure out what would be best in this. First, we gotta just make the animations, right? We're going to target, and we're going to do block. Whoops. Block start. We'll worry about the locomotion stuff later. We'll do block start, block end, block loop, and the two parries. We'll do parries in a second. Do you plan to ignore hits from melee after the first successful one so it won't trigger logic extra times? Most likely, yeah. Because right now I want the parry to interrupt the enemy attack. But in cases where there's like maybe multiple melee attacks coming, maybe we would want like a successful parry to like tell the other enemies, you know, interrupt what they're doing and do some sort of what's the word? Taunt or some startle thing or something. And then for any incoming damages or something like that, we can just have them mitigate any sort of damage for that set of frames. So we're gonna do that. So we're gonna do, what's this one called? I always forget the names here. I have too many skeletal meshes. Standalone, I believe. I'm looking for. Well, what I'm hoping is, because, well, I mean, first off, the melee traces they do only register once per enemy or target that's hit. So if it hits me once, any other consecutive hits within that are ignored. We might need to update that to allow it in certain cases. But also, because we are interrupting the enemy, those other consecutive chases shouldn't happen. I hope. We'd have to see. Gas Wars game. So there's blocking. So there's our animations. Hmm. Bam, bam. So what I'm hoping is I could just say, you know, underscore player character underscore block. So I don't know if it should all kind of be built into the same animation and then using sections to kind of handle everything. We can see what that looks like in practice. We could put in like our loop, then our end. And some section, we can say block start. Oh, no, we would say rename this one. Block loop. There. Do onto section and there. And we just say block loop. That theory, that should be fine. And so I go bam. I want exponential out on blend in. Probably a blended time at 0.1 maybe. So it's like that. I feel like the play rate of this should be faster. So now we gotta readjust everything. Let's just see how that looks. Oops. Look like 3 times as fast is probably too fast. So basically, bam. Definitely just feels too slow. If it was 2. It could still work, I think. Now we'll deal with it as the one-to-one time. Let's play this animation on block. And on release. And montage section. And ability. And this should look decent. I think we'll just be kind of not animating when we're walking, which is fine. Let's see. It's like bam. But as you can see, it's like And now see, when we tap it, we don't really go anywhere. So we have to, at the very least, get to a certain point in the montage, right? We need to at least bring it up and then like hold for a moment and come back down, maybe. So let's see if we can get that feeling. I don't think there's a wait montage. No. I was thinking if there's like a wait montage section kind of thing. What is this I am GUI window? Oh, which one? Oh, this one. It's a custom I am GUI window. We made stuff for our attributes and stuff like that, so we can modify attributes. We have our wave manager where we can spawn people from, and then we have an active resource event history, so we can look at the events that we want to do for our card resources. Very basic things. Don't do too much crazy things at the moment, but it gets the job done. So I want to be like, bam, or psh, bam. Okay, I kind of need to figure out the tap, I think. It has to go like that. At the very least, right? So I could say something like manual checking here, but for example, we could say, hey, was it less than 4 seconds or something? This is going to be gross, but let's just see if it worked. Devin, could you talk about custom server C++ side projects like MMORPG games? How we can handle this in Unreal Engine? No, I have no clue how you would handle a MMORPG kind of game. I try to avoid multiplayer games as much as I can, especially for solo projects. I'm not much of a network engineer or anything like that, so can't really help you too well, unfortunately. Let's see if that works. It kind of works. Yep. I definitely want it faster, right? But for now, it's whatever. I want to... Now, I should be able to, in theory, listen to it hit. Yeah, we tried doing multiplayer in here by ourselves, but it was not a good idea. More power to you, though, if you want to do it. So now, in theory, I'll have to clean up this and how I actually want it to work. I should be able to... I'll need to handle it, I think, in a separate ability, most likely, but we'll just kind of connect these at the moment. Where we can wait for an event. I think we need to wait for it. No. So gameplay on hit. Let's just see. So we're not receiving this. So And let's see. So I think in my player melee base, I think I'm doing something right. So player melee. But when I hit something, hit data, hit target effects, all this. Then I think eventually, I guess it's on damage, right? That we're actually passing stuff. So we're gonna have to refactor that, I think, to always kind of send a hit. But like the enemy itself should receive this. So in theory, I should be able to in the like character do a wait for event. Wait event. Yeah. I want to wait for this event. Target actor itself. Break the payload. We'll get the target, and then we can send gameplay event to actor and do the same event. Technically, this should work. This on hit. And still no. There. See if we get this information. Okay. What's the target information? So target is the player character. Okay. Maybe. Oh yeah, we gotta wait for these events too, right? So we gotta just go. Good. Should do something. Okay. Great. So we're going to brute force a good amount of stuff at this point. So let us take this animation. Let us do a tag. So we have status, animation, Parry dot go. That could be the best place to do this, or should it be under gameplay, animation, melee? I'll do offensive dot Parry dot window. Cool. That. So what we'll do is in our block stance, we'll get on hit, and then we're going to say get ability system component from actor info. Get owned tags. And we'll just say has tag. Match Parry dot window. And if we do, we'll play another montage. This will probably need to be refactored out to its own ability, so it's a little cleaner. I don't think we did our block. Parry, I should say. So there's counterattack, but then there's parry. Right, so let's target those. See you later. I have to go. Thanks for the stream. No problem, Talos. Have a good night. Thanks for popping in as usual. Character, animation, blocking. Create a montage. Here. Again, we'll have to organize ourselves a little bit better down the line. Parry left. So bam. And parry right. So it's like bam. I like parry right a little bit better. Probably want the blend in time to be pretty quick. 0.05. In and I want to be able to interrupt out of it at some point, right? But so we should be able to go here. Plug you in. Ability on that. This is where I would need to like be very success for now. Again, just to take things. Hope I can just instance for execution this. I'm gonna try real quick. Nope. Fine. Let's see if I can find my kitty cat. We found the kitty cat. He really is the best kitty, huh? She was all sleepy and tired on the couch, and I just yanked her out of her own piece. Sorry, boo boo. I'm sure if she could speak, she'd be very upset with me. Oh, she wants to hop back on. Okay. Hey. Alright. So, let's try this again. There. Parry. She's trying to touch the thing on screen, so you know she's a little crazy at the moment. We'll be done in a minute. I want to at the very least prove that this works, right? So, let's see. Oh. So we got it. So it's like, nope. Okay. So technically we parried, so but honestly, it's all quick. You don't really see much, so it's like bam. I'm aggressively petting the kitty, so now everything's shaking. So, you know, in theory, it works. Maybe we can do a nice, you know, time dilation and camera shake and get a nice VFX. And then eventually audio, right? You should do it. So let's see. In the last few moments, I guess we can get time dilation, right? We gotta get our subsystem. I gotta hit stop. So add global hit stop. Probably we'll do global hit stop with curve. I feel like my cat's gonna roll off the desk. But okay, so we're gonna do a custom curve. Miscellaneous. Curve float will do. Curve for Parry. Success. Yeah, Parry success. We kind of want to drop the dilation pretty quickly. I'd probably want it to go from 1 down to like 0.05, like 0.05 seconds. Pretty aggressive drop. And like a half a second later, kind of come back up. Oops. Something like that, right? It could be a harsh curve at the moment. High priority So I don't think anything else needs to happen. Just see. So dilation didn't happen. Look at melee base. Maybe I have to set the blend option to curve, right? Custom. Let's see. No. Okay. Maybe because this is also ending. Yeah, let's just see if we get here. So we are. Does modifying any of those work? Yes, there we go. So it's like, bam. I'm not sure why the curve does something like that, though. Maybe it's a bug. That's 0.6. Oh, my stream is not good quality at the moment. Oh, that works. So bam. Yeah, I don't know. No, it still doesn't function how I'd imagine. Bam. Like it does on the first instance. It might just be bug. Global time dilation system. Let me print this out. How many times do we get hello? Because maybe that's the problem that Insane Doggo was mentioning. Maybe it's getting invoked multiple times. Oh. Definitely a bug. You're gonna see why that gets invoked multiple times. So we should be able to go like that. That's like bam. Sorry. Bam. Nope. Don't think. I think we should get ability, right? I think it's because we're not resetting the do once either. We're gonna have to fix a couple of stuff next time, I think. Got it. Got it. We also have to interrupt them. We should be able to get the data here. Yeah, and we're just kind of brute forcing everything at the moment. Should be able to do something like this to just kind of straight up interrupt. Yeah. Yeah, now we gotta make sure that we are parrying, I guess. Stop. Blah. So we should only do that. We don't want the attack to stop when we're blocking. So we got no. We are able to parry spam. We are getting some form of parry. Just like bam. I'll have to fix what's going on with the head and everything too. That's funny. Is that always the case? No. Well, we definitely need to properly set up our delegates here, because we're getting hit and we're recognizing that hit, but not applying it correctly. So I know that bug. Oh, you got something. So, like, bam, parried, bam. Maybe the parry window is too generous. At least we got something working. I'll have to set up the combat locomotion as well. I'll do that next time. But overall, we made some good progress today, so I'm super happy about that. But that's where I'm going to end it for tonight. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it very much. For those who are new here, make sure to subscribe on YouTube. Make sure to follow on Twitch. Also, make sure to join our Discord. Definitely hang out, do all that cool stuff. We'll be back maybe tomorrow, but definitely on Thursday to continue this parry system. But until then, have a good night, and I will see you soon.